you can wear anything you wanted, what would you wear? I asked my mom that question when I was 10 years old. She looked up and said, a pair of skin-tight black leather pants. When she returned the question, I got emotional. What I would do to wear basketball shorts. I wish I could feel the summer air on my arms and legs as I ran outside. But I couldn't. Not because I didn't want to, but because I'm a girl. You see, in my world, being a girl came with strict rules. No pants, no sports, no to a lot of things, no matter how silly it seemed. And I didn't just follow these rules, I believed in them. I felt in my bones they were right, even when I couldn't understand why. Because I grew up in an ideological world, right here in America. A world that didn't just tell me what to do, it taught me to want to do it. And in this world, women were told to shelter. Not just our bodies, but our minds. The very texts that guided our lives were forbidden to us. We were told our minds are too weak to understand them. Every day men said, "Thank you for not making me a woman." Women were seen as less than men. My sister, my mother, and all my aunts before me were married off in their teenage years. I am the first girl in my family, gay I might add, to not be married off as a teenager to a man. Thank God for that. So how could this happen? The great philosopher Susan Griffin once said, "When an idea turns into an ideology, it builds a prison for the mind. When an idea turns into an ideology, it builds a prison for the mind." Ideas are flexible, concepts we can play with and challenge. Ideologies, however, are like rigid beliefs, ideas that cannot be challenged. They are final, they are fixed, they don't bend and they don't let you bend either. And here's what I've learned. Rules cannot control us the way that shame and guilt can. Teach someone what to feel guilty about, what to believe, and they will govern themselves. Their ideology will become their identity. And that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't wear those basketball shorts because it would feel wrong, even if I couldn't understand why. There was no question. I obeyed. That's the power of ideology. At 16, my life changed. My mother left our community. And for the first time, I began asking, who am I? What do I believe? I decided I wanted to be an engineer. I Googled the best place in the world to become one and found San Francisco. So at 16, I graduated high school early and moved to SF to follow my dream. At 17, I landed my first job in tech and could build full apps. But I still didn't know how to properly structure an English sentence. My school growing up didn't really believe in secular education. So I had to teach myself grammar, geometry, everything to get a good college test score. By 18, after a lot of self-studying, I got in to Stanford University. Walking onto campus that first day felt like a dream. I wore a blue bomber jacket and baggy shorts. 10-year-old me was beaming. The wind in my hair, the skateboard under my feet, I made it. Women can wear what they want. People can date who they desire. Debates and differences are respected. I had finally left my strict ideology behind. Or so I thought. To my surprise, I realized something. Ideologies don't just exist in rigid communities like mine. They exist everywhere, even in places that seem to be free. They just look different. That's why I created a tool called SITT, a simple way to recognize any environment that demands ideology. SITT stands for social pressure, insularity, and two-dimensional thought. To understand this framework, we'll apply SITT to my past, and we'll see how my past environment was ripe for ideology. S is social pressure. In my old world, belonging came with conditions. The first time I wore pants, I lost a lot of friends. I became a pariah, just like my mom before me. Who would dare break the rules if it meant becoming an outcast? I is insularity. Growing up, the outside world existed as if through a movie screen. You can see it, but you can't touch it. The rules prevented me from befriending anyone that was different than me. I was isolated. T is two-dimensional thought. There was a right and a wrong that cannot be challenged. A rule said that women cannot sing in front of men, and that could not be debated. Truth was written with a capital T, absolute, untouchable. Clearly, SITT applies to my past. It's an environment full of ideology. But would SITT apply to my time at Stanford? Let's find out. As a freshman, eager to learn, I joined every discussion group on campus. I didn't go to argue, I went to listen. One day, the girl I was dating sent me a strange message. I know where you've been. She found out I went to a group meeting that she didn't approve of. This group, nothing out of the ordinary. But that was it. She ghosted me, and soon all our mutual friends stopped talking to me too. S is social pressure. Losing friends sounds familiar. No one had to ban me from a room. The rules were unspoken. The fear of being outcasted was enough. We see this everywhere now. One wrong post, one wrong friend, and you're out. Canceled, shamed. That's not justice. That's social control. I is insularity. By only asking the right questions and showing up in the accepted spaces, what we end up doing is isolating ourselves. This too is our reality. Our feeds, our friends, our facts all reflect the single correct narrative. And the more we stay in this bubble, the more extreme it becomes, and the more the other seems outrageous. T is two-dimensional thought. One meeting was all it took for me to be labeled bad. There was no gray, just sides. And when people become binaries, we stop seeing them as people. When ideas are fixed and debate discouraged, progress becomes impossible. SITT did not just shape the world I left. It shapes our world too. Same pressure, same fear, just different packaging. In this world, we like to think we're free, But if we're not allowed to challenge the current accepted way of thinking, we're not free. We're just following a different script. So here's the truth. Our environment demands ideology. Our environment demands ideology. And if we don't face it, it controls us. So what can we do? We need to challenge ourselves to gain back control. Ask yourself, do I have friends that challenge my thinking? Have I stayed silent just to fit in? Is this belief or view I hold rigid, untouchable? Would I choose this belief over someone I love, even family? If the answer is yes, congratulations, you're human. But your belief, your idea, may have turned into an ideology, just as mine were. But the moment you see it, you have a choice. Keep it or poke at it. Because awareness of yourself is power, and power is freedom. So sit with your beliefs, ask hard questions, feel the discomfort. Not to destroy what you believe, but to see if it serves you. By doing so, we don't just protect our freedom, we expand it. And I am living proof that you can expand yours too, despite your environment, if you just decide to try. And yes, in case you're wondering, my mom eventually bought those black tight leather pants, and she looks amazing. Thank you.